Hi everyone, Nathan here. In this video we're just going to have a quick look at some of the ideas that are being considered as to how exactly students can be supported and caught up during the coming months as things begin to improve, hopefully. Now, I think it's been generally accepted by everyone that pretty much everyone's education has been and continues to be badly disrupted and badly affected by the situation that we're in. Now, teachers, students and parents have been working their hardest to keep learning happening, to make sure that students can learn as well as possible. And you know, when it comes down to it, we have to accept that nothing's quite the same as being in the classroom, especially when it comes to those subjects which have a really practical element to it. So subjects like art, PE, music, dance, sports, DT, drama, all of those. Then the question keeps returning: how exactly can we make up for that lost time? What can we do? How can we give students back everything that the lockdowns, the self-isolations, everything that came with it, what those things have taken from them? Well, the good news is that this is being looked into by the government, that is, by the powers that be. Nothing appears to be finalised yet, but some of the ideas that are being thrown around are being reported on. And so I wanted to have a look at them and see what your thoughts are on the matter. I want to hear your opinion and see, you know, since you're going to be the ones being affected by it, a lot of you, or your family members will be, what do you think of them? Now, remember that none of these are actually confirmed. These are just really early stages that they were sort of mentioning that they were looking into, but we'll see if they turn into anything later on. So what follows is based on a BBC article, which I'll link in the description down below. And it's from a conversation with Kevin Collins, the newly appointed Education Recovery Commissioner. Now, he put a lot of emphasis on subjects with practical elements, such as music, sport and drama. And according to Collins, the most disadvantaged students have lost up to 7 months of progress. So that would mean that some students are currently where they should be, or should have been, a year ago. Well, not a year ago, but last school year. Because of course, with the holiday and everything, it works out to quite a long time ago. Now, this is worrying for obvious reasons. Maybe even some of you are within that group of students who are that far behind. So, you know, this is a good thing that this is being looked into and that they're going to work towards sorting this out. So some of the things that are being considered are shorter summer holidays, but longer school year for this year, summer schools and extended school days. Now, this is quite interesting because shorter summer holidays and an extended school day, either of those would mean that students and teachers who would have already been working hard all throughout the normal school year, even though some of it would have been at home, they now have even more time, even more hours that they're going to end up spending in school this school year. Now, considering that we have this mental health crisis at the moment because of everything that's happened, whether this would add to that mental strain or whether it would have the reverse effect and in fact, you know, being in the classroom and being around people again would be better for us, well, who knows? I'm sure that's one of the things that they're going to question and look into. But I definitely think that it goes into shaky territory, so it'll be interesting what they think about that, and also what the teachers and students and the unions and everyone who has a voice on that will think too. Also, of course, with that, there's also the question of will this be something that all teachers and all students have to take part in, or is it just a few? And yeah, that will be a question too. Bring back all the hundreds of thousands of students, or millions of students actually. Hundreds of thousands would be the exam students, but millions of students, or bring back just a few thousand, or tens of thousands. Now, when it comes to summer schools or supplementary tuition, it appears that some students have already been benefiting from what the government's already put in place since 2020. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be using the feedback that they get from that, the knowledge that they've gained from what's been going on with the tuition so far, and they'll apply that to what's to come. I can definitely see them continuing this and maybe even run it alongside some of the other things like were mentioned before. So yeah, that would be a good direction to start off with, I would think, but we'll see what happens. Now, I'm really interested in hearing what your opinion is on these ideas. Do you think that the holiday should be left as it is? Or do you think that school should be longer instead? Or maybe you just hate the thought of both? And let me know what you think down in the comments below. Personally, I don't really have an opinion on it yet. I mean, time in the classroom is the most obvious thing that students lost and have been losing since this whole thing started. But how we make back time, that could either cause more problems and disruptions and issues, or it could solve a lot of problems and issues. It could swing either way, and that's what's concerning me at the moment. But yeah, because of that, I don't really have an opinion yet. Apparently we'll get more information at the end of February, so the end of this month, if you're watching it in the month that this video comes out. So maybe then I'll have a bit of an opinion on it, and you guys will maybe have something a bit more solid to say. As a side note, Kevin Collins also said that when it came to exams beyond 2021, so we're looking at 2022 and beyond, he said, and I quote, that exams need some kind of consideration and questions because, you're right, the year 10 children this year have had a very disrupted period. The year 11s as well, as they go into A levels or the year 13s go on to university, the teachers, the lecturers, those that are receiving and are going to support those children are going to have to ask the question, how do we think about the curriculum we are offering? To make sure we are giving those students, those children, the chance to go back perhaps and cover some of the stuff that might be vital in the subjects, but wasn't perhaps completely covered because of lockdown. End of quote. So, by the looks of it, there's going to be a lot of work with education staff, organisations and students in the coming year, or maybe years, to rectify all the damage that's been done. We might have to, that's us teachers and schools, might have to look at how, things are taught. And whether we'll just keep going linearly or whether there'll be a lot of going backwards and forwards because of stuff that was missed. So yeah, lots to think about and lots that will need to be sorted out by the powers that be. So on that note, I think I will leave it there for today, and we'll see what comes in the coming weeks, whether any of those are confirmed or officially proposed, or whether they fade off into obscurity. Make sure to subscribe, like and comment if you haven't already, so that you don't miss out on any more of our videos on education, art or anything creative. We've got a lot more coming in all of those areas, especially some of the ones that we've been neglecting a bit over the last few weeks. So watch out for updates from either myself or from Noah. And yeah, that's all for now. Stay safe until next time.